So I told you earlier that I was in school. I was in school to learn to be a dentist. And after dental school, I trained in a hospital to become an oral surgeon. So after my training, I went into practice, and I really was not that involved with recording artists or anything, but I had started this guitar company in late 96 and went to the 97 NAMM show. And placed a few ads in some magazines. And then one day I came back to my office after lunch and I had a phone message. I was going over my patients' phone messages. And one of the messages was from a guy named Tom Petersson. Now, I was a huge fan of the band Cheap Trick when I was 16 years old in high school. Probably into early college. And then he left the band for a period of time. And then I lost track of the band. So I told my secretary, I said, Tom Petersson, I don't remember treating a Tom Petersson, but the only Tom Petersson I remember, it stands up in my mind, is a bass player from a band that I was a fan of like 15 years before, or about 15 years before. And I called the number, and it was him. It was I was at my desk writing charts between patients, and I called this number. It was like in Missouri. They were on tour. I had completely lost touch with Cheap Trick. I didn't even know that they were performing anymore. And obviously they've been performing and performing and performing. And so he got on the phone. He said, hi, this is Tom Petersson from Cheap Trick. And I saw your instrument. I'm going to give you a little surprise, Momo. This is it, actually. You didn't know I had this here.
Oh, it's the actual instrument.
This is the first bass we made. So this was just made as like a concept instrument, you know, like concept cars are made, etc. And so this appeared in some ads in '97, and then I started getting calls from celebrities, and he was one of them. And he said, I saw that mirror bass. I love that. I'm a collector, and I collect vintage instruments. I play vintage instruments. I really love that design. Can I get one? And we discussed, you know, that I was in early production with the instruments that I made. I think I had just ordered some bass prototypes of the Spaceranger, and he was actually got the very first one ever made. I think he got a yellow, a taxi yellow or canary, yeah, taxi yellow. He got the first prototype, actually. And then I thought that was interesting. After all these years, and after being a fan of theirs, to get a call in my office from this guy. By the way, they're very, very nice people. He was a very, very nice person to deal with. And we became friendly with him and some of the band members for a period of time early on in the late 90s. And we went to shows and were their guests at Hard Rock Cafe opening in Philadelphia and a number of shows in Philly. And then, you know, like as things happen, they expanded their horizons, and I went on to my work, and I sort of lost touch, but we're in a little contact with some of the members on the internet. But then I got a call. You mentioned Alan Woody?
Oh, yeah.
It was the same instrument, and it was another day, maybe weeks or so later. It was based on the same ad. And honestly, I knew the Allman Brothers, but I did not know who Alan Woody was personally. I had not followed his career. Tom Petersson I knew well about. And I got on the phone, and he said, hey, man, my name's Alan Woody, man. I'm the bass player for the Allman Brothers. Matt, is this Matt? Are you the owner of the company, man? Did you make that bass? Did you design that Spaceranger I saw in that magazine, man? I said, yeah, that's me. He goes, I really love that design, man. He goes, that is beautiful. I got to get me one of those, okay? And we had a long talk, and I found out that he was a fabulous, fabulous person. We became very, very close friends in the next few years until he passed away. And we spent a lot of time with him. And he called me all the time, and he was very involved with the company, very involved in influencing me in terms of bass tone, bass design, bass feel. He liked inexpensive consumer model instruments. And he told me he recorded one of the Allman Brothers records with a $200 Japanese Hofner copy, 70s. He didn't use a Hofner. He didn't use a high-end instrument. He had a collection of about 400 basses. And he